Okay, he was 17 years old. He was obese. He went through a lot of making fun of because of his size, and he found himself the constant target of bullies in school. Then one day he decided he'd had enough.
And that's when he vowed to turn his life around. Charles D'Angelo is here. He's 26 years old now, 150 pounds lighter, maybe more than that. And Charles, you're going to share your success story with us, which you've detailed in your book. It's called Think and Grow Thin.
And we've been looking at this book, and your abs
the pictures
look nice.
Are amazing.
You've come a long way. I mean, at one point in your life, 360 pounds at 17 years old.
That's right.
Wow.
And why don't you tell us about what you used to eat? Because this diet's pretty sharp. I would like to eat it, but can't. But tell us, I mean, and the book, you say 5 Pop-Tarts?
Sure. 5 Pop-Tarts, a 2-liter of regular soda at breakfast, and then on the way to school, because I really dreaded going to school so much, my mom tried to replace that by taking us through a little 7-Eleven or convenience store and getting a candy bar, another soda. I would get a couple snacks to bring to school so at recess time I could sit on the wall and eat those. And then lunchtime, considering, as you guys know, the childhood obesity epidemic, my school was one of the schools that served a lot of the fat-laden food and the sugar-laden food, so I would have a couple slices of pizza, a couple bags of French fries, another regular soda, get home from school, have a couple packs of those little Debbie treats or a couple real small things.
And we're still in the same day. This is one day.
All in one day. And then nighttime, it was really, I grew up in a blue-collar family, so fast food was really kind of a luxury. When you could order in pizza, it was something to look forward to, right? And as a kid that pulled himself up into his room, isolated himself from everyone else, that was really my comfort. So my message in my book is that I've been there. I'm not some guy that's looked like this all my life, and you comment on my abs, which is very nice.
Which is very nice.
But I wasn't always in this shape. But the way that I really changed was I looked at myself as being a fit and healthy person, and then behaved congruent with that belief. And so many people are fighting their own identity. And in my book, we really focus on how do you shift yourself from looking at being an overweight person, rather to being a fit person carrying around a lot of extra weight.
Well, when you were 360 pounds.
And we're looking at a picture of you now. How old were you here in this picture?
I was 16 or 17 years old.
All right. So what happened the day that you said, this is it?
Well, it's a strange story. I had went to a gym, saved up $280, went to a fitness center.
Getting another microphone on. You can't hear you that well. We'll just pop it on him right there. Let's just pop it on right there so we can hear him. So you went to a gym.
Yeah, I went to a gym, and as I went to the gym, I had saved up $280 to go, and that was from working after school and everything else. Well, I got to the gym, and I was turned away because they didn't take credit cards. And I went home. I was 360 pounds, a size 50-inch waist, and this was after, getting to school early in the day before all the other kids because I was bullied so bad, and I would eat lunch by myself in a bathroom stall. So I came home that day, I plopped down on the bed, and my stomach was so large it would obscure the television set. Excuse me, the mic just fell.
We're having all kinds of technical difficulties. We just dropped that one. That's fine. This is the good one on you right here.
So I got home and I plopped down on the bed, and my stomach was so large it obscured the television set that was in front of me. And I started to tear up because I felt that there was no hope. My family, on my father's side, was Italian, heritage there, and had diabetes, hypertension, heart disease. And I saw my future in my family, and I thought, there's no hope. I drifted off to sleep, actually cried myself to sleep, but I woke up and I had this spark that there was a bigger mission for me, that I was meant to fulfill something. I was always very bright as a child. So I said, I'll give it one more shot. And I went to another gym that took cash. Fast forward 2 years later, I lost 160 pounds.
It's heartbreaking to think that you got enough courage beyond all that bullying at school and people making fun of you and just the pain you were going through inside. You marched into that gym and then was turned away, but you still did it.
You have to put yourself out there. And in my book, I talk about the reason that my change really happened, I believe, is because looking outside of myself at that point, there was no lack of diet books or exercise DVDs or treadmills that would claim to change your life in 90 days. But I figured something was missing because I could find all the information on what to do. It's not knowing what to do. It's getting yourself to do what you know consistently. So in my book, I focus on how do you get yourself motivated, focused, charged up, and get that belief in yourself so that no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what chaos is going on in your life, no matter how much you've been told you can't do it, or you're a fat person, or if you're a child sitting at home watching this, or if you have kids, that are bullied, that they can find that innate belief in themselves that they can change. And then I say exactly what to do with foods, what to do with exercise as well.
You went from eating French fries and soda to eating
a protein
spinach
shake
and kale. I mean,
Well,
how did you do that? It must
miss-
not have even tasted good to you at first.
I think the biggest change was replacing spontaneity in my life with strategy. So I went from a life of no plan, of not knowing what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, to coming up with a system for myself of thinking about food and thinking about exercise so that I could be consistent. And once you build up that momentum and you start to see results, after you start to feel better and your energy's getting better.
Let's go back to that first day, though.
happen.
You go to that gym. Did you team up with the trainer? How did you do this?
No, and that's, I think, a big thing that most people that are overweight struggle with. They think that this is rocket science. This isn't rocket science. I started walking on a treadmill, just 20, 30 minutes. Now, I have to say, at 360 pounds, I was so large that my thighs, and this is a bit embarrassing, can't say, but would chap. Because they were rubbing together. So it was very uncomfortable. And as a big person, I would never wear shorts because I was ashamed of how my legs looked. So I'd always wear pants, which only precipitated even more perspiration. So it was very uncomfortable. I said, you know what? If I stay consistent with this, if I really, really be consistent with this, and I start eating right, because I look at this as kind of a three-legged stool. One leg is diet. You got to have a healthy food plan. But you don't need some magical diet, just a very consistent strategic plan. You got to have an exercise program. And you have to have the mindset, and that's what I bring to the table, is how to get yourself disciplined so you learn how to disconnect from that spontaneity.
And that education, a lot of us know. We
do.
we can read a book, we know better.
We buy a DVD or whatever.
Yeah, you hear this, and it's pretty basic. Did you fall back ever after you started?
Never.
You stuck to it.
No, never. And I grew up, I had a real tough environment. My mom struggled with some substance abuse issues, and my father was a blue-collar worker, so he wasn't around very much. So there was a lot of chaos. And I always tell people that come to me, I have moms, dads, I have national-level politicians that come to me, and I always tell them, when things are chaotic in your life, you need to anchor yourself to what you can control. And what you can control is what you're putting into your body, what you're doing for yourself. So many people are looking outside themselves for the answer. Another pill, another book, another diet, another machine that collects dust and they hang their clothes on in the basement. I can say this, if a person will really, really take what I propose in my book and apply it to their life, it will forever change them. And I'm interested in change that's pervasive in all contexts, not just lose 100 pounds and gain it back the next year. It's how do you change your mindset? Because you hear so many people that have lost weight only to regain it back. Right now, 66% of our nation's overweight. And the childhood obesity epidemic, I just heard recently, for the first time, usually with the advances of modern medicine and technology, we are able to lengthen the average lifespan in America. For the first time, they might retract it.
We're in bad shape. No, we're running out of time, but I wanted to give you this opportunity before we go, because I want to hear what you have to say to those people in high school that made fun of you and made you feel that way. If you saw one of them today, what would you say?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know why? Because it made me the man I am today. For all the children that bullied me and everything else, it gave me the strength, it gave me the courage, it gave me the substance to be able to move myself forward. And I'm not condoning what I went through, but what I'm suggesting is this. It's not the circumstances that determine what we become, but it's what we do with those circumstances, the meaning we give to them. So when I went through that as a child, it was very difficult to go through. But looking back at it, if I wouldn't have went through it, when I have a young person in front of me, or I wouldn't have wrote the book that's helping so many people.
Well, you certainly are an inspiration, and turned
Charles,
it into
we
a
just showed the
successful
book
career for yourself,
and
too.
congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much.
We showed the book, and once again, it's Think and Grow Thin, so go out and get it. He's obviously doing the walking and the talking and everything. Good to see you, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Everything.
And anyone out there that's listening, just know that there's always hope. Don't ever give up.
Good to know. Charles, thanks.
Thank you so much.